I'm feeling so happy, and still I feel sad when this no-hand little Indian girl create history in Trinidad. So I take this whole season to applaud this young woman. But on the same note, I have a plan for all my black and chicken who failed the exam. Your fingernails long and fail your exam.
What? I chop off your hand.
5 years your lime on the maxi stand.
What? I chop off your hand.
You went to school with your pants under your bottom.
What? I chop off your hand.
I spending me money by the thousand.
What? I chop off your hand.
Some people gonna feel how I'm pushing hate, but in me black and chicken are losing faith. So I'm meeting you outside the exam gate. Soon as you fail, I go amputate. Not one subject me listen pass, and assure me you make an ass. As you say, Daddy, listen this. What? I've gone with yours. Because this old man, I am vile, and me a taking no dunce child. If you play the fool and you fail your exam, this old man go shut off your hand.
A pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
My daughter have two nice hands with long fingernails.
And how are we doing this afternoon?
I shouldn't make a jail when she come home and tell me she fail. Because Vera ain't no hand, and she passed with 5 distinction. So tell the sergeant in the station, I prefer my child with no hand.
Today being Wednesday,
Fail your exam.
the 2nd day of April 2025.
You can't understand.
I chop off your hand.
Time check right now.
I is Bushu Bantan.
It is 2 minutes gone past the hour of 6.
Did in education.
I chop off your hand.
Some people go say I like violence, but so help me, I'm fed up with this damn nonsense. 5 years you went to school and you're dense. I go shorten your hand from being a nuisance.
This one from Western Rollins.
I can't take this. That's why every day I just practice. As you end up on the door, dishness. What? I've gone with yours. Because this old man, I am vile, and me a taking no dense child. If you play the fool and you fail your exam, this old man go chop off your hand.
To the persons in Carriacou and Peter Martin, good afternoon to you. To the persons joining us throughout the region, good afternoon to you. To the persons out in the diaspora,
Some parents do
Canada, America,
most of them,
the United Kingdom.
cause if thy right hand offend thee, scripture say we should cut it off. And I believe in the master, and when the scripture says true, but Jesus, I want to little more than you. Instead of one, I cut it off two. For 5 years, all your study was brand.
I chop off your hand.
You never listen to Sparrow's education.
I chop off your hand.
Every day you line in on the maxi stand.
I chop off your hand.
You could cost better than the elephant man.
I chop off your hand.
Some people gonna say how I'm pushing hate, but in my black and chicken are losing faith. So I'm meeting you outside the exam gate. Soon as you fail, I go amputate. Not one subject the little boy pass, and assure me you make an ass. I just say, hey, Daddy, listen this. What? I've gone with yours. Because this old man, I am vile, and me a taking no dense child. If you play the fool and you fail your exam, this old man go chop off your hand.
Another wonderful day in the Spice Island, man. One of my favorites coming out from Crew. One of my favorite tunes from Crew, man. I just love this one.
I am still mesmerized. I was shocked for days. The achievement of this little girl. It still have the whole nation amazed. Vera, you are an inspiration to so much people in this land. So all of them who fail, just because they sit, hide your 2 hands in your back pocket. Your complexion nice and fail your exam.
I chop off your hand.
You never listen to Sparrow's education.
I chop off your hand.
You ain't even no crocodile is a guy, so in your hand.
I chop off your hand.
Your simple school work you can't understand.
I chop off your hand.
Some people gonna say I like violence, but so help me, I'm fed up with this damn nonsense. Every day you're going to school and you're dense. I'm gonna shorten your hand from being a nuisance. The little boy fail and I can't take this. That's why every day I just practice. As you end up on the door, this list. I've gone with yours. Because this old man, I I am vile, and me a taking no dense child. If you play the fool and you fail your exam, this old man go
Chop off your hand.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this one coming out there from Crow. As I said to you, many of you guys may not know, but I have such a love for political commentary, and Western Rollins is one of my favorite artists in that sense, and also Sugar Alus, another one of my stalwart commentary calypsonian in the world. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, again a pleasant good evening to each and every one of you guys, and I hope each and every one of you is having yourself a productive day. Whatever it is that you're doing today, yes, I hope that you do definitely enjoy, or you have been enjoying. Yes. Yesterday's broadcast, and I want to just let you guys know this. I want to be able to juggle in doing what I have to do. Yes? And so missing the program in itself in its entirety is going to really put a damp on the whole viewing and persons, speaking of consistency and so on. So even on days when I am not at studio, I will be doing recordings. Yes, I will be doing recordings, and the recordings will be, yes, premiered, or it would be able to be viewed on the YouTube and Facebook. We would share the program. So you might not be able to view it on Facebook per se, but on YouTube definitely. Because what we have noticed, management and I have noticed, that there's a broader viewing of persons on the YouTube page. That the persons on YouTube is all 300, 400, 500 persons. Yes, and so what we're wanting to also do is keep that consistency with the program. On Monday there was a recording to be programmed, yes, and we didn't get a chance to. Yeah, and so we got the opportunity to do so yesterday. So the viewing was a broadcast that was pre-recorded, and this one today is also a pre-recording. So if you see I am not speaking to comments and so on and so forth, it means that it is a pre-recording. But what is important, it is that you take the message, that you listen to the messages that we are disseminating. Yes, I often view it myself, yeah, wherever I'm at, and sometimes you would see I even comment in some areas. And for the upcoming weeks, or next week or so, I would be very much involved with some of the events that are taking place at the National Stadium. And so at the same time, I want to be able to ensure that my program is aired. Yes, so I will ensure that on days when I'm here in person, you will definitely know. But on days when I can't be at the program in person, there's definitely going to be a pre-recording, and you guys would get it at the same time, which is 6 in the evening. Yes, I want you guys to listen to the messages. You know what I mean? Be a part of the conversation. Always be a part of the conversation, because it is of important. Yes? So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to say thank you guys so very much for last Friday. Last Friday was epic, man, and it continues to grow. That is the happiness about the After Work Lime that is presently happening. Yes, it continues to grow, and it continues to grow nicely. I had to put it out there very early. Yes, St. Mark's was out in full glory. Yes, I was there. So we set in the standard very early. St. Mark's have set the standard, and so we're asking of the other persons, come on. You guys need to get up to par. Yes, get up to par. You guys need to be at the After Work Live. Yeah, because we really outdid ourselves. St. Mark's, we outdid ourselves, man. Yes. All right. In terms of events, April 19th, the bingo and dance and raffle that will be taking place, put on by Big Slice Promotion, that would be at Brownlee's Hideaway. You guys get the opportunity to win $6,000, $2,500 in jackpot prize, The raffle would be smart TV. There is also a dance that follows. 3 for 12 for the entire bingo. $5 for one beer. So you know it's definitely one that you guys can go and be a part of. Go on out and get and be a part of winnings. All right. Also, phone very ready. Yes. Also, ladies and gentlemen, upcoming and stay tuned for the information. Youth Pulse will be an event put on by the youth arm of the new National Party. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Youth Pulse. Yes, Youth Pulse is one of the epic events that will be put on during the very first quarter by the new National Party youth arm. And this one is going to be epic. This one is going to be one to follow for the remaining quarters. Yeah? So we're imploring you young people to be a part of, get your teams ready, youth arm presidents, youth members within the different constituency, get your team ready. We'll be out in full bloom. It'll be an evening of entertainment, enjoyment, giveaway, games. Just name it. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful one. So don't forget to be a part of Youth Pulse. All right. We have been in recent days, the new National Party have been in recent days employing to persons and especially constituency leads and persons who are influential within the new National Party, within your polling divisions and your areas of in constituencies. Get your people registered. Go ahead, go and check the list. Get to know where your polling division is, know what it is that is about to happen. Yes, all the talks that they're talking, we're hearing talks that they're not talking, but we are not going to be fooled by the talks that we're not hearing, because we're knowing, not just hearing, but we're knowing what is happening even within their camp. Yes, so the advice to each and every one of you guys, get to your different constituencies, check your list, the new voters, bring them out to get registered, get to know what is required. Yes, and we definitely are going to do this together in terms of rescuing Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. Yes, we want to employ, and we have seen it for the past 3 weeks or more. Oh my goodness, I think our our parliamentary representative, Honorable Emmeline Pear, I believe to myself that you need a little vacation. But however, I think you would get it as Prime Minister. We have really seen the many interviews that have been happening. We have seen the many meetings that she's been attending and the interactive sessions that always there and always involved and always disseminating the information. And to be honest with you, nobody would believe that we are 2 years or so away from a general election, and the work that is being done by our political leader at this stage is one for the history books, man. And I'm telling you, on that day when we elect Honorable Emmeline Pear as Prime Minister, I know she will be satisfied of the work done to have gotten there. I'm telling you, man, the information, it is just wonderful. On Monday with the interview on Boss FM, I am happy to see many of you guys would have stood your ground in terms of not getting, drift away, from the negative comments in the comment section. And I like that. I want us to continue to inculcate that practice when reviewing our live and persons are on programs and so on. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, I want to just recognize a few persons who have really been doing the work on social media. The Glenda Roberts, the Cassie MP, the Carla Walcott, the Annette Mitchell. So many persons and Penelope and other persons, whose name that might not be able to come to mind. I'm just loving the manner in which you guys are going about doing your stuff on social media, being able to bring across videos and pictures and documents and let the truth be told also. Yes, so many persons are driving the messages across. But you know what is hurtful about all these persons? The many persons that are not sharing those messages that are being disseminated. Instead, we take the time off to share all the foolishness that are being posted, the malingering, the propaganda, the all kind of foolishness that is posted by the National Democratic Congress. You find persons sharing those nonsense more than they're sharing what is important that we supposed to be sharing out there. Yes, I am one of the persons ever so often when I'm on Facebook and I'm in the comment section or I put a post, I put pictures. I remember last week, yes, posting something about Dr. Modest. Go under it and see how many persons might have shared it. We are getting carried away, ladies and gentlemen, by the foolishness that are being put on by the other side. And we're sharing those utter nonsense more than we're sharing the information. Interviews that are going to be happening by members of the party. Let us share that. Let's let people know that this is happening. Let people know that this is happening. Instead, we are sharing utter nonsense. We are sharing utter nonsense. Yes. So I'm saying to you that we need to get on the ball in terms of giving out information of relevance. We cannot sit aside ever so often and believe to ourselves what the other side say we have to defend. Or what somebody put on Facebook we have to share. There is relevant information. Interviews, as I said, that are being conducted by the political leader. Interviews by the prominent, by the party secretary. Information that is important. I was on work and I'm saying, like, you guys, I'm not saying that you need to take your time off to do certain things. But when you can, make it happen. When you can, ladies and gentlemen, make it happen. Because at the end of the day, the young people that are on social media, while the other side is putting up all the kind of pictures and the thing and the photos of road and all these things, and them we have roads and we have buildings and we have things to prove that we did this and we were documented for this and we did this. Instead, you see some persons on their pages posting things and sharing it and say, he that built that road. No, you don't need to share that thing. Go ahead and share what is the facts that you know about areas and documents. I myself personally, along with Dr. Modest, are in the process right now and we're working on, documenting important things. And many of you guys are within the party and you know the history of certain things and you're allowing them to pass like a laugh, like a joke. It's not. These persons are going to take the opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, from beneath our wings. They're going to take it. And we need to put a stop to it. We need to put a stop to it. Remember last week I played a video with Mr. Bola and at the time Parliamentary Representative and Minister Kate Lewis, the Tivoli community and the grounds. The other side is posting and congratulating this administration for this work that was being done. But immediately we got a document, filed video, to be able to put it out there and say, hey, don't try that. And these are the things that we want to see. Remember a few months ago, they posted about the police headquarters. Immediately I went and I got documentation. I did my fact checking and so the information is there and we want you guys to disseminate that information. Not the utter nonsense. Not the foolishness. Some persons are looking at NNPs and looking at supporters instead of looking at what the other side is defamating and doing. They're looking at NNP supporters. They're looking at. Instead of coming up with ways and strategies within the polling areas and constituencies. I mean, this is what we want. This is the fight that requires all of us. Yes? This is the fight that requires all of us. And when that fight is fought among ourselves, it is bringing us down more than anything else. I'm not saying that it is happening, but I'm saying you need to be conscientious. Share things in your group chat. I know many things, pastoral group chat, NNP group chat, and spread it on your program, on your page. Let persons know what is happening. Yes? I want to confess that the other day, a little document passed through, and I threw it in a school group chat. I satisfied myself and I deleted it. But I satisfied myself to the point where somebody's going to read the heading and might have opened it. So maybe not everybody opened it, but ladies and gentlemen, getting into the meat of conversation, I don't know if you guys know of the disease that is being going around. Doctors have diagnosed the name of the disease to be TSAB. It is a dreadful disease that is happening in Grenada right now, and I don't know which medical doctor might be able to help us. The name of that sickness, the abbreviation, is the silence after budget. It's a dreadful disease that is going around. Yeah, you gotta be careful. You gotta drink a lot of water. You gotta be out there in the sun. You have to be able to interact. It's a dreadful disease. It is called the silence after budget, TSAB. Remember that one. Dreadful disease that is happening. And ladies and gentlemen, as I say to you, at the end of the day, you can tell what is excitement. You can tell if you go to a show, if you go to an event that is productive, or it was nice, or you enjoyed. There is a buzz thereafter. I'm going to continue to warn you guys, and I don't know how many of you would have noticed that there was something that was put out yesterday by the airport authority as it relates to the increase in some fees down there. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm saying this to say, keep your eyes peeled on those things. Keep your eyes on those. Be focused on the amount of things within the upcoming weeks and months that are going to be gradually increased by government, or that is government entities or part thereof. Yes? Let me tell you a simple math, ladies and gentlemen. And I am not kicking against police pay and grade. But listen to the maths behind all this. There were officers who was not paying an income tax based on the salary scale. They was not reaching the threshold to pay an income tax. Now, with the pay and grade, it means that more than 85 to 90% of officers attached to the Royal Grenada Police Force will be reaching the threshold of income tax payment. See the brain? Get the brain behind it? So, even it is at the end of the day geared as a good gesture, and persons may lift their hands in the air like, yes, which I do commend, but the fine print is there, ladies and gentlemen. On the conversation of the police force, I believe to this stage, this administration decide, I am going to throw my weight around no matter how. I will do what I want to do when I feel to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, it irks me. Last Friday, after completing work at MTV, I had to walk from there. Let's go to the Belmont traffic light. Yes? To as far as Ludas Lane, Tam CC, Eric Matthew Gary roundabout, Botanical Garden roundabout. In order to get a bus that is going up the hill or going up that area to go into town. Ladies and gentlemen, last Friday is what we Grenadians know as Mountain Friday. And the fact of the matter is, I believe that government or members of the Royal Grenada Police, what the hierarchy of the RGPF, must have been able to advise someone, or even if the idea come up, yes, somebody should have been able to say, sir, madam, it is Mountain Friday. And the presence of officers are important on a Mountain Friday. The vehicular traffic that you get on a normal day, on a Mountain Friday, it is different. Oh my God. We have seen the National Stadium built. We have seen the bus terminus. We have seen the cruise ship terminal. We have seen the botanical gardens. Just to name a few. When have we seen that level of exorbitant kind of behavior to open or showcase the opening of a building? In that circumstance that I just mentioned, well, I have to say it's just a repainting, renovation of the police headquarters that has been moved from Fort George. All this mayhem, all the titivation on a Mountain Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, don't look at this as a scratch on the surface. It means that these persons are of the concept, are of the belief that I can do as I damn well please because, hey, I am in charge. How can you say to me, a logical bunch of grown, educated, expected to be, young men and women of the state could want to do an opening of that magnitude on a Mountain Friday? What does that tell you, ladies and gentlemen? Now, if a promoter was to, at this stage, yes, go to the police headquarters and write for April Mountain to bar the carnage, put up a stage for entertainment, block the place from 9 a.m. to midnight, he or she would have discrepancies, wouldn't they? Let's be honest. But if the priest could play, who is me? Because you see, the logical thinking does not go beyond, I believe, the room that some of these persons are in. Okay, if I do this and the general public come and ask for it now, am I going to say no or should I say no? Imagine all that done and the general opening was taking place between the hours of 4 to 5. Imagine this. That was the opening hours, But the place was blocked from 9 a.m. to midnight. And there are hierarchies within the police force that are part of the transport board. They are charged of the bus association. They know the form of vehicular traffic that a Mountain Friday, but any Friday, brings within the tongue of St. George, especially from Lagoon Road onto the Port Highway area, onto the Carnage. The entire place was blocked, more or less, last week. For what? For what? This didn't require that level of match, pass, and come on. Who are the persons making this level of decisions? And then you see, first thing they go say, well, everything is there NMP, are condemning. But you think it's just condemnation? You think it is just condemnation? You facilitated an opening last week that more than likely disturbed the entire process within the St. George area last week. A lot of businesses must have suffered. A lot of persons who had things to do, maybe they're doing it today because they should have done it since last week Friday. You telling me that couldn't have been done, even if you're saying to me you were trying to get to open it before April 1st. You telling me that couldn't have been done on a Sunday? Let's be honest. or that could not be done on a Saturday evening with a minimal amount of vehicular traffic. And that's what I'm looking at. And the presence of officers. Because I'm saying to you, if you go and you ask the police for permission on a month-end Friday, these are the excuses you go get. Police have to walk. Yeah? That's too long. The traffic. I know them. These are the excuses you're going to get. And from hierarchies who sat in the same setting last week, they are the ones that are going to make the decision and tell you, no, they don't give you permission or they don't give you pass. Let us be logical now. Let us be logical. Let us think as a people, not just on a political capacity, but let's think about the well-being of others. I've seen so many openings. All kind of place opening talk already. Yes, all kind of place. You must look for a place or an area where you know definitely you don't hinder too much vehicular traffic. You don't do it. Because we all know what it is like in terms of that. There's a nice little yard inside of that area, you know. There's a nice little area for those of us who know inside of the area. I don't know if they change it up in any kind of way. But come on. We need to do better than this. The decision makers, these are the things that trickles down to the decisions you make in country. Because you don't care. You don't care. And that is what we saw last week. That is what we saw. We saw that you care less as to the outcome of what was happening. But however, that is where the buck lies, and it lies with them for now. Ladies and gentlemen, let me jump very quickly onto the program, the conversation of the CBI program. And again, decision making, understanding, persons doing their vetting and conducting what is happening in this little country and this little world. Many warnings are coming from different entities around the world, from different countries that facilitate CBI, as to the person or persons in whom they accept. Grenada is a very small country. There's many things that can happen around the world that can affect us. Yes, and I want to send this warning out to the powers that be. The CBI program that you all had condemned, that you all promised to make better. If you want to make it better, go right ahead. But all for now, what we are hearing, what we are seeing, you are putting yourself in a monkey's pants. There are too many things that are circulating around the world when it comes to CBI in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. We are small, and it was said in a song that when the bigger countries sneeze, we go catch the flu. And that is not just a saying, it is something that we need to pay attention to. We are hearing a lot of alleged individuals. We have heard of all the mayhems and mishaps that have been happening. And the thing about it, the utter silence. Yes, the disease, TSAB, TSAB, silence after budget. Too many things are coming up now. Issues are being raised up right now. Corruption conversation, individuals. We're hearing about, CBI investments through the CBI program. This is happening and this is happening. But a lot of the things that have been allocated for financially, we are not seeing the outcome, the products. Information is that one contractor in certain places getting an opportunity to build 20 houses and 18 houses. They're building a little house, person sit down in areas with NDC jerseys, taking out picture. If that is the way you all decide to rule, you all are going down a path that is going to cut you more than you expect. Here they building a little house on the south of the island a few Sundays back. About 15 in the city on the side of the road. Yes, they're promising people that size and they're getting a different size of house. We're hearing all the information. We're getting them. Corruption as it relates to materials and house and the favors are going to, as the Prime Minister said, we have to know who is NDC. So the rest of Grenada suffers in that light. The corruption issues are bellowing more and more and more and more. And we're employing for you of your guys. And hence the reason why I say we ought to be able to put out the right things. We ought to put out the right thing. We can't put out some things. We have to put out all the right things. Yes, put out all the right things. So that whenever they decide to come up with anything, we have backings for it. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't get a chance to speak on it very clearly yet, but I just want to play that clip before I jump on the conversation that I want to jump on right now. I just want to play this clip right here.
I'll challenge the opposition leader. If he says he knows where the files, ask him if his colleague ministers know where the files are. Right? If they know where the files.
Let me just say, this one was a clipping from the Bob report. Yes, so let me just say, this is one of the clipping from the Bob report, all right?
Files are, then either them or him can publicly indicate where the files are, where they've been stored, and how the files can be accessed, and indicate that to the public servants so that they can tell us.
And after the Prime Minister called me, I said, but why did you not respond to me? I sent everything to you. Did you find the documents that the licensee GPG sent you? Well, he can't recall that. Did you find what I sent to you? No, he doesn't think so. But I have found the documents. Told me that he had found the documents. So I said, where did you find it? In a cabinet in the ministry.
They lie about oil and gas, that they have no documentation. It's a blatant lie.
He found it there under lock and key. And he said the only problem that he did not have a key to open it. I said, did you not ask the secretary for the key? He said, no, well, he didn't waste time to do that. He broke open the panel. Well, it's a government owned, and he's the Minister of National Security. I tell him, I say, well, no problem with that. If you broke open the thing, you could either get a new panel. And besides, they don't like to use anything that the former NNP used to use. Huh? They don't like that. So he said, break open that and throw it. But the point is, he got the documents.
As of today, we are yet to solve the mystery of Grenada's offshore oil and gas reserves. Very little records can be found anywhere within the government, and our technocrats within the ministries and departments have very little information on this matter.
Ladies and gentlemen, I shouldn't even say that I am pleased to even make the announcement. But I know many of you guys have heard. And I wish to take a stance today, publicly. I don't know if the members, when getting into their next meeting in Parliament, would ever bring it up. But let me say this. Mr. Bowen, the new National Party, Dr. Mitchell as the past Prime Minister, deserves an apology. Deserves an apology from, I don't know if it's the GG or the Prime Minister himself, for what the general public was made to understand, what was publicized by this administration through the Governor General. I say that if we can't reach to the point at this stage where we demand an apology, we demand some form of respect to be shown, Because what the general public of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique was left to understand, based on what the Governor General, and even with the clip I just played, that she called it a mystery. That absolutely no data, based on what she said, absolutely no data, and it was a mystery. But ladies and gentlemen, we are now in a stage where this government has moved from governance to magicians, because all of a sudden we are hearing this.
At Wednesday's government town hall meeting at the Grenada Trade Center, Chairman of Grenada's Hydrocarbon Technical Working Group, Nazim Burke, provided an update on the country's oil and gas exploration activities. During his presentation, Burke outlined the group's key priorities for the next 18 months, which include gathering crucial data and reviewing existing contracts with the Global Petroleum Group.
Even more evidence that has been made forward or brought forward by the technocratic group. Because here in the excerpts, listen the words again.
18 months, which include gathering crucial data and reviewing existing contracts.
Reviewing existing data. Reviewing existing data. So when the you see, we just look at things at the scratch of the surface and believe to ourselves that persons should not be held accountable for what they say and when they say it. If we listen to the words of the Governor General again, who said that there was verily the mystery, basically questioning the accountability and transparency of the past administration when it comes to the conversation of oil and gas. And today, it is made public that there is existing contract, continued data,
with the Global Petroleum Group, the sole holder of exploration licenses in Grenada.
So the plan that we've developed in terms of the way forward, you would see here one, data availability and quality assessment. Gathering the data from the seismic companies and assessing the quality is going to be important. Reviewing those documents as well as reviewing the contracts that we have.
So there are contracts. I said to you guys, when you listen to that, it would be everything that Mr. Bowen said. Remember I warned you guys about that? These guys did nothing new. These guys did nothing new. They are basically regurgitating the information that they got. The information that they told the general public that was not there, that was not available, that was not in Grenada. They are basically regurgitating, repeating, copy and pasting all the information that they would have met there. They did nothing. Absolutely nothing. You telling me from the time in which this board was put together to date, they are just data assessments. They have to meet with the contractors. Those are things, don't you believe, that should have been on its way? Because the fact of the matter is, the documentation of oil and gas was found. So all the CPG and all the names that you're calling now are things that Mr. Bowen said. Mr. Bowen gave a history of that. All that was said. I warned you guys, I said, listen tentatively. You are going to get a regurgitation of all data availability and quality assessment. Mr. Bowen said so. They found one well They had to do testing, the availability of it, the quantity of it. All that was said. The technical commercial aspect of it is meeting with the GPG, the contracts that are existing, the monies that was paid, sent to lab. We hear that. They have done nothing shameful of a bad budget. They come and they bring in oil and gas conversation now. I warn you guys. I know this guy is too good. I know them too well.
With GPG and others, we need to look at the contracts so as to better understand Grenada's rights and Grenada's obligations.
Upon assuming office, the National Democratic Congress administration accused the previous government of withholding important documents related to oil and gas exploration. However, the now opposition New National Party, NNP, has strongly denied these allegations. In response, Buck announced plans to establish a data storage system, including a library, to ensure that relevant documents and information are easily accessible.
The technical and commercial work is going to be important. Setting up what you see there we call a data library. We must have a place where we store all of Grenada's data. Just like if you have books, you have to store them in a certain place, that when you need them.
But you see? You see how it is, right? They had accused the previous administration. When questioned about it, because he said, if you listen what the person reporting is saying, they questioned them about it. They had said they didn't find no oil and gas. So when questioned about it, he didn't answer whether or not the allegation posed by this administration, as opposed to them saying there was nothing, no data. He didn't answer that. That was not answered. That question was not answered. But instead, he come up speaking about the library. About them feel like good fool people. It is high time we go past these things.
Or any kind of documentation. The issue of storage of important information and documents is critical. How you store it determines how easy it is to retrieve it. And so storage and retrieval is a science in itself. And the management of data is a science in itself. And so we want to ensure that we do it and we get experts, we train experts to do that.
Additionally, the working group will focus on understanding the bidding and marketing processes to attract other companies interested in exploring the remaining oil and gas blocks within Grenada's waters.
Of course, we want to get the bidding rungs in place, understanding the process of bidding for the blocks. We want to understand the tools, develop and have available the tools, the bidding tools that will be used, and of course that would mean as well engaging the partners, sometimes marketing, going on road shows to tell people what you have and show people what you have. All of these are steps that will have to be taken as part of the technical and commercial work.
Burke affirmed that government would continue to hold discussions with GPG with the aim of ensuring the company continues with the drilling of its appraisal, while focusing its ambitions on the remaining 40 blocks and the potential for oil and gas deposits. For MTV News, Kadisia Frank.
I warned you guys. I told you guys, these guys have nothing. They have nothing. All this. And I am hoping that sooner than later, that I can get that piece of information where Mr. Bowen, well, I think it was at Monjaloo, it was a meeting at Monjaloo. All that information, all those information, ladies and gentlemen, listeners, was disseminated to the general public, was made available to the general public. Mr. Bowen went on, he took phone calls, he went into the office, he returned calls. I can't remember everything, all that was said. But ladies and gentlemen, I am saying to you, this is not new information. Why I can say to you this is not new information? Here is why.
All the headaches. One well was drilled There were results that we wanted to confirm before we make a noise. Sisters and brothers, the report said that we have found significant gas and oil in the waters of Grenada in one well so far. Sisters and brothers, you know what that means for your future? It means a lot for the future of this country. Sisters and brothers, one well. We have several more wells which are even more exciting than the one they just found. In other words, Grenada can be a massive supplier of oil and gas. With God's blessing, sisters and brothers, we will be marching on to victory, sisters and brothers.
When he said that, the NDC goons took it as a lie. When he said that, he was the biggest liar that God would have created. When he said that, this life is funny, ladies and gentlemen. This life is funny. Sometimes it's not the mistake, but it's who make it. So when he said that, and Dr. Mitchell, as Prime Minister, made those statements boldly, and he spoke about one, the drilling process that would have happened. With even, you could hear the little hoarseness in his voice, but as a Grenadian, as a leader, he didn't think about him. You know, he said, the future of Grenada. He didn't say Kit Mitchell and NNP. Or all NNP would rejoice. He said the future of Grenada is deemed to be great with the finding of oil and gas within our waters. It was taken as a campaign lie in order for him to go back in office. He was re-elected. When that was said, he was re-elected. When he got into office, through his Minister of Energy, the process continued. GPG, drilling processes. We had notice outside of our waters, oil tankers. So, ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman, Dr. the Right Honorable Kit Mitchell, Mr. Bowen and the new National Party, after what we heard last week in a town hall meeting, the truth is that there was no lie to it. That the new National Party administration, with the leadership and stewardship of Prime Minister Mitchell at the time, was being transparent and truthful to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Even after attempting to belittle the name and office of him, even while out of office, with the today Prime Minister, along with the Governor General, making a vague and untruth statement of data collection and mystery of data and data processes. The party provided information, documentation like oil and gas. I guess Mr. Buck would have expected Mr. Bowen to have it in a file on a table or in a drawer somewhere. That is what he maybe expect. But as they state, those men are old men, they're elders. We grandparents used to hide money in mattresses. They used to put it in a plastic bag and shove it somewhere because they know to themselves that if anything were to happen here, the probability of that getting destroyed is very minimal. That is the process of a macho thinking. Young person, they have an important document like that. They throw it in the bag. They have it somewhere there. Or they put it on a flash drive and they believe the flash drive alone is what is important. No hard copy. But Mr. Bowen, thank you very much for the experience and knowledge of understanding how important document and document filing is. That's what we know. Filing of document, not data collection, and what a library be placed. Foolishness. Filing, that's what you call it. Principle of Business Officer Administration taught me that. Filing is important. Due to technology, we get to know about flash drive and memory. But those men grew up in a time when they know about filing. And so the document was filed and stored in a place properly. Because even the Prime Minister himself could not have found even the key for it. But he was at the Botanical Gardens. More than 2 years, you're telling me, a cabin day in the ministry, and he never opened. So if it's a bomb that day, we might have just be hearing about the blowing up. A cabinet sits in the corner there, you take over office, and you are so wild that you have a cabinet there, you don't even open the cabinet. See how these fellas and them just make themselves look dotish in the presence of people? So you take office. When the man call you back and tell you, did you find the document? Yes. Where did you find it? In a cabinet. So did you get it? He had to, no, he didn't have a key for it. But you had to break open it. So a whole 2 years, year and a half, take over office and a filing cabinet sits in the corner there. You don't know what they need. You don't have a clue what they need. But you go and you give the GGA a document and say, no oil and gas, mystery of oil and gas. And we have to put a team of fellas together to find out about oil and gas. Utter nonsense. Foolishness. We cannot be in a society where you're telling me that it is so easy. So easy. Your parents die now. They bought paper, you're getting it. Somebody must know. Somebody must know. And I'm strong. I am one of the persons advocating strongly that something must be said publicly, some way, in some forum, to make an apology to the past administration with the inclusion of the past Prime Minister and the past Minister responsible for energy. You can tell me two big men, so grown men in Grenada, you come in and just land them and you go just let it go so? So I call on the leader of the opposition, write a document, let it write something. Foolishness. Can't tell me big men so, grown men who have given service to the state, you just come and you lie on them and then you're supposed to just forget about it. You're supposed to just sweep that below the carpet like nothing never happened. Foolishness. And now they're making excuses. Oh, yes, they said they find it, but they didn't do nothing. That wasn't the issue. They didn't do nothing. and GPG and monies was spent and all these things. And what hurts me the most is the fact that it has been found. You don't say what you found, but you're in the process of doing all these things. You see, as a man, you see, that is where growth, leadership, development comes in. As parents, you think you tell your child, oh, you don't do that. You don't do that. And then you find it in the 2 minutes. And instead of going and apologize to the child, you find it and you hush him out. That's how you beat her, you ridicule her, him, you think you find it and you hush him out. This is not development. This shows you, your leadership, your stance, your growth as an individual to be immature and careless. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, we must take a stance here in Grenada as it relates to the decisions, the high-handed decision, the misleading information, the form of corruption, the lack of respect that has been given out by this present administration. And if we don't take a stance now, I'm saying to you, as old people will say, Capo smoke with pipe. Capo smoke with pipe. So ladies and gentlemen, again, it was definitely a pleasure. We have just gone over about an hour. And so it is Wednesday evening here in Grenada. Another wonderful evening. I know many of you guys, your kids and your nieces and nephews, the younger ones are at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. The inter-primary school competition is presently ongoing. And so we want to wish all the youngsters all the best. The support from parents is very important. And so we ask of you to continue to give the support to the loved ones. I am full 100 St. Mark's. I believe we are going to win this year. You don't try to drift me. Yes. But congratulations to all the teams that are, doing well, and the students and the athletes that are doing well. Continue to see all that is happening and view what is happening. And I'm certain within twinkling of an eye, we are going to see another Kirani James and Aline Fonseca and Mr. Felix and other persons, doing well for Grenada Carriacon Pidwatnik. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it was definitely a pleasure being in your company again for another wonderful, wonderful episode of Class in Session. And we continue to implore of you to look at many of the programs. Mr. Pierre, yes, Brother Sheldon, Sister Jenny, I now see another individual, Brother Skeet, is also doing some live on some issues in which he addresses. And so I'm not saying they are affiliated in no way with the party, but they are addressing issues, pertinent issues within the state. And give them a listen, fear not. Yes, fear not to give them a listen. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a wonderful evening. It was a pleasure being in your company for another wonderful one. And catch you back again in another Class in Session program, which will be aired next Monday. All right? So God's blessing to each and every one of you. Check you back again next Monday. Stay with us as we continue to give you good music along with lots of information. All right?
One of the strong ones from his tent, the Icon's tent, which has been going down very. He has built his calypso.
I'm feeling so happy, and still I feel sad when this no-hand little Indian girl create history in Trinidad. So I take this whole season to applaud this young woman, but on the same note I have a plan for all my black and chicken who failed the exam. Your fingernails long and fail your exam.
What? I chop off your hand.
5 years your lime on the maxi stand.
What? I chop off your hand.
You went to school with your pants under your bottom.
What? I chop off your hand.
I spending me money by the thousand.
What? I chop off your hand.
Some people gonna feel how I'm pushing hate, but in me black and chicken are losing faith. So I'm meeting you outside the exam gate. Soon as you fail, I go amputate. Not one subject me listen pass, and assure me you make an ass. As you say, Daddy, listen this. What? I'm gone with reverse. Because this old man, I am vile, and me a taking no done child. If you play the fool and you fail your exam, this old man go shut off your hand. My daughter have 2 nice hands with long fingernail. So tell me why I shouldn't make a jail when she come home and tell me she fail. Because Cause Vera ain't no hand, and she passed with 5 distinction. So tell the sergeant in the station, I prefer my child with no hand. Your fingernails nice and fail your exam.
Walk, a chop off your hand.
Your simple school work you can't understand.
Walk, a chop off your hand.
Like your godfather is Bushu Bantan.
Walk, a chop off your hand.
You're not interested in education.
Walk, a chop off your hand.
Some people go say I like violence, but so help me, I'm fed up with this damn nonsense. 5 years you went to school and you're dense. I go shorten your hand from being a nuisance. The little boy fail and I can't take this. That's why every day I just practice. As you end up on the door dishness, well, I've gone with your wrist. Because this old man, I am vile, and me ain't taking no dense child. If you play the fool and you fail your exam, this old man go chop off your hand. Some parents too lenient, most of them too soft. Cause if thy right hand offend thee, scripture say we should cut it off. And I believe in the master, and where the scripture says true. But Jesus, I want to do a little more than you. Instead of 1, I cut it off 2. For 5 years all your study was brand.
Walk, a chop off your hand.
You never listen to